You're watching the Sporting Time Show with host Doug Thompson. Sponsored by Jewelry Barn and Pawn Shop.
Good evening and welcome into the Sporting Time Show. I am Doug Thompson and my co-host today again is Taryn Johnson from WNKY. Taryn, Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year to you, Doug. It's been so long since I've been on the show. It's been at least since last year, but it's great to be back on. Thank you so much for having me.
It was a quick year from when you were on last time, but I'm glad you're able to come in today. Happy New Year to everybody. You know, I always wonder to myself, because nobody else wants to share in my wonder, but how long do you wish people Happy New Year?
I think that the first full week of the new year is inbounds.
Yes.
That's probably fair to say because
Okay.
you don't see everybody the first few days of the new year, but once we get to the second week, like the start of the second week, it's probably, a little worn out, I would say. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm good with that. I mean, I like saying the word happy anyway,
yeah.
so maybe I just dropped the New Year and whatever, but it was fun. And I got to ask you, any New Year's resolutions? Do you believe in New Year's resolutions?
I do. I do, Doug. Yeah. New Year's resolutions, I feel like the older I've gotten, the more emphasis I've put on them.
It's interesting that you just looked at me with a delayed pause when you said the older you get. But yes, so go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yes, sir. I think that one of my personal New Year's resolutions is just to be more intentional with my time and focus more on spending time with family and friends that I feel like I didn't necessarily get the chance to in 2020, like we all didn't really get the chance to.
Right.
So in 2021, that's what I'm going for, just to spend more time with family and friends and have more quality time.
I'm the same way, but I have a whole list of resolutions to kick off 2021. I mean, and the reason I do that is because if one drops off, I got 9 other ones that I can go to.
There you go.
But one of the things that I'm giving up this year is chocolate. If you
Wow.
see me around town
Wow.
and I've got I've booted that New Year's resolution. But yeah, I know it's just it's all or nothing with me with the sweets. So that's the big one for me.
Man.
I'm going to give it up.
That's a massive one.
It is
That's a
massive.
massive one. I think you understated that a little bit, Doug. That's huge. That's huge.
Maybe that's 1 through 5. Maybe that takes up 5. But anyway, it's great to be here. I'm glad you're here. I was out last week, as you know.
Yes, sir.
I had we're just going to throw HIPAA out the window today.
Yeah.
But I had knee surgery, and I got to tell you something. I did not expect to be here today.
Yeah,
I
Doug,
did not.
Doug, it's remarkable that you did. And what you said last Monday, you had a procedure on your knee. How did that process go? Like, I saw you walk in, and I didn't even notice any real difference. It's amazing.
You know, the professionals that we have in this community are much like our programs, our high school athletic programs.
Absolutely.
They're great, right? Yes, they might be with different organizations, or they might be on a different, whatever, different hospital, but they are fantastic. And I want to give a shout out to Dr. Fee, who did my surgery. It is amazing. I'm up, working, and it's just a week old.
That's amazing.
So thank you very much. I'm back at it, which
That's
is good, just in
fantastic.
time for basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. And so glad that you have recovered so well and so quickly, Doug. We were joking before the show. It's like you have Deadpool or Wolverine genes. I mean, it's flat out amazing. But what a great way to start a new year, too.
Yeah, it is. It's out of the way, and now I can focus on the business at hand or the sports at hand. And by the way, we do want to mention one of the things that you and I are going to do throughout the season is we are going to have a female and male basketball player of the week that we are going to feature starting next week, right?
Yes, sir.
So what we want to do is encourage coaches to email me at dlt.sportingtimes@gmail.com. We'll have that right here at the bottom of your screen. Because, Taryn, it doesn't necessarily mean the person that scores the most will be the player of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, points are certainly a valuable metric, Doug, but they're not everything. It could be a player of the week could be somebody who has 3 clutch offensive rebounds and putbacks down the stretch that leads their team to victory. I mean, a valuable player is much more than just points on the scoreboard, and we're really excited to be able to have that and do that throughout the course of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait because we're going to do it up big. I mean, we're going to have pictures. If we have some video to go with it, that'll be fantastic. But as much exposure as we can get and as much interaction as we can get from area coaches, we're going to take it. So with that, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, my first guest joins us, and you won't believe who it is, right here on WNKY, NBC 40.
You're watching the Sporting Time Show on WNKY 40.
Welcome back. If you mention his name in circles in the state of Kentucky, all basketball coaches pretty much know who you're talking about, and he is a fan favorite in the 4th region. My next guest is the head coach of the Bowling Green Purples, D.G. Sherrill. Coach, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, Doug. Thanks for that intro. I appreciate that.
So what part of that do you not think was accurate? I think that everybody knows who you are in the state of Kentucky because you've been coaching for many, many, many years with great success. Sure. What about the fan favorite?
I kind of embrace that a little bit. Yeah, I think that I've had a program that's been very successful. I've been part of some really good basketball teams, and I understand that, at Bowling Green we kind of understand sometimes we wear the black hat, and that's okay. And I'm a rather large guy, so I'm an easy target. And so yeah, it is what it is. It's fun, and so yeah, we embrace that, just kind of enjoy it.
It is fun. And by the way, Happy New Year.
Thank you.
We talked off the air a little bit about navigating through kind of what we've been going through the entire 2020 season.
Right.
Just kind of talk about getting back on the court as a head coach, getting the first win, and being able to play basketball.
Oh, Warren Cunningham and I talked about it last night, pregame. I think, both of us were like, we don't have preseason scrimmages. Warren's another guy that's done it for a long time. And so we kind of understand that we need what you need preseason to get your team ready.
Yeah.
And so it was fun. My team, our guys responded well defensively. We still got a lot of work to do to get any kind of rhythm offensively. But I think our number one opponent, I think at least through the month of January, is going to be this pandemic. Yeah. Can we get far enough away from New Year's? Can we get far enough away from large gatherings that we can get to a rhythm and not have shutdowns? And it's kind of Russian roulette. We're all trying to avoid it as much as we can and just play basketball. Our guys had a blast. To see how much fun they were having just to get out there and play together. Very rewarding experience.
You and I talked last year. Of course, you were a huge supporter of Coach Clubb. You were at pretty much every single game of his. But you also told me that, you were kind of squirming in your seat, watching it, getting that coaching itch. After a couple years off, you're back as the head coach. What was it like heading into your first game for you? Was it more excitement than years past when you were the head coach? What were your feelings like?
When I got out after 17 and moved into administration, I was really tired. I had poured my heart and soul into everything that we were doing, and my guys responded. That group of young men were so much fun to coach, and I love those guys. And then one of my best friends steps in as the head coach and was really supportive of what they were trying to do. Thought I was done coaching, really thought I was done coaching. But, the first year out was pretty enjoyable. But then after that, I go back into a gym, and it was the most comfortable place that I could be beyond my own home. When I get home at night and be around my wife and daughters, that's my comfort zone. That's where I love being. But the gym was so comfortable for me. And I'm like, I really was missing some of that. And I didn't know if it ever would come back around where I'd have this opportunity. So I think last night it was like I coached my first game in some ways. I was kind of sick to my stomach. I was nervous. I didn't know what to expect. These are all new guys. I've never coached any of these kids coming through. They were all since I was a head coach. And so it was a unique experience. It was a lot of fun. And I've promised to myself that I'm going to slow down a little bit this time and enjoy things and take my time and really enjoy the relationships and the experiences that I think sometimes you get geared up toward winning the next game, and you don't slow down sometimes and really take stock in, man, I get to coach high school basketball, and I love the game, and so I'm going to try to enjoy this as much as I can.
Coach, we got about 15 seconds real quick. Isaiah Mason goes off for 25 points against Barron. How special is he?
He's a Division I player. He's a great player. He's even a better kid. He's got a high ceiling still too, Doug. He's not where he needs to. He's got a lot of room still offensively. We're working on a lot of things in his game. He's going to be. He's a first-team All-State player. He's a legit Mr. Basketball candidate. It's going to be a lot of fun to coach him this year.
Coach Sherrill, thank you very much. Look forward to having you back on the show throughout the season. Have a great and safe year this season. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Doug. Appreciate you, buddy.
All righty, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, more of the Sporting Time Show right here on WNKY NBC 40. Welcome back to the show. My next guest, his basketball team is one of the best in the 4th region, 3rd in all-time wins and winning percentages. They've made it to the 4th region tournament 10 consecutive years. Last season, they were ranked 7th in the state of Kentucky in all classes for defense, just giving up a measly 49 points per game. And one thing about his teams, they leave it all on the court. My next guest is the head coach of the Clinton County Bulldogs, Coach Todd Messer. Coach, welcome to the show.
Doug, I'm very appreciative that you would have me on your show, and appreciate everything you do for our region and the kids across our region.
Well, it is my pleasure. I get to live vicariously through you coaches. You know, I was never a coach other than Little League coaching, so I get to kind of do that. I get to watch kids play and just enjoy watching them play. But, Coach, you're starting your 15th season at Clinton County, and whew, what a run you've had. Just the fact that you've made 10 consecutive 4th region tournaments, a semifinal showing last year. Just talk a little bit about this season and navigating your team as we kind of go into uncharted waters and are able to play basketball.
Yeah, and that's the big thing right off the bat. We're just so very appreciative of the opportunity to get to play basketball this season and have a season that we hope is very meaningful for our kids. With what we've done over the last 14 years, as you said, we're the 3rd winningest program in our region during that time. I give all the credit to my kiddos and my coaches for laying the foundation and putting in the work. That from year to year, regardless of what we lose, there's a few intangibles that we're going to bring back to the table. We're going to work hard. We're going to do the dirty work. We're going to rebound, take charges. We're going to play defense because that's all the things that we can control by just our personal desire and wants. And then the good Lord willing, we'll have a few shots fall that gives us an opportunity to win some games.
Well, talk a little bit about the defensive accolade that you got last year. We're not talking about a class. We're not talking about a district or a region. We're talking about statewide. Talk about the importance that you put on the defensive end of the game of basketball.
Well, I believe as a coach, you have to be able to impose your will on one side of the court or the other. And for us, we're not the most athletically gifted, the quickest. So it gives us the better opportunity. We impose our will on the defensive end. That's where we can make it a half-court game. We can make it from top of the key to the rim, the style that we want to play, and really set a tempo of toughness, take charges, dive on loose balls, do those little things that's going to give ourselves a chance to win. Probably what we don't give enough credit for is how good our defense actually is. A lot of people say we're methodical with the ball or we're grinding the clock, and we really don't. Right. From the time we cross the center line on offense, we probably shot it in 10 seconds. So I give our kids a lot of credit for being willing to put the effort out on that end.
Well, Coach, and I want to encourage our viewers, check the schedules out. If you have an opportunity to watch Clinton County play here in Warren County or Barron County, go by and watch you guys play. I look forward to seeing you, Coach, in this area. If not, we'll make a road trip out in Clinton County. And I want to wish you a happy New Year and look forward to seeing you soon on the courts.
Well, most definitely, and happy New Year and season to you. And we'll be over in the Bowling Green area a couple times this year. I will tell you this: I really, really like my team. I think we have the opportunity this year to be dangerous. I think in some ways we may be a little bit farther along in being able with our leadership to handle some pressure. And be able to attack the Bowling Green schools when it matters in the regional tournament.
I can't wait, Coach. I appreciate it again. Thank you very much. We'll catch up soon. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Doug. Y'all take care and hope to see you down the road soon.
But before we go, make sure you check out the Sporting Times app. You can download it today for free on Amazon Fire Stick and Roku streaming devices. Join the voice of the Bowling Green Purples, Joe Bronk, and the voice of the Greenwood Gators, Brent Thompson, live this basketball season. Each broadcasted live and free thanks to our wonderful sponsors. Watch anytime on demand on the app or on our website at sdfanclub.com. Welcome back. Man, I want to thank DG Sherrill and Coach Todd Messer for being our guest for today. You know, Taryn, DG Sherrill gets back into coaching after a 2-year hiatus. I joked with him about being a fan favorite. A lot of student sections over the years have gotten, they love, giving it to Coach Sherrill, but he also loves to give it back in a fun way. And then you got Todd Messer over at Clinton County, who absolutely, starting his 15th season, just loves the game of basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Year in and year out, man, they get the job done.
Yeah, they sure do, and he does as a head coach. You could see just from that interview the passion and enthusiasm he has for not only the game of basketball, but for coaching the game of basketball.
Yeah, he could, we were joking because he could have done probably 4 segments because he loves to talk about his program.
Yeah.
Very proud coach, as he should be. But we're just starting. I mean, we are going to have coaches and players throughout the entire season on this show. And that's what I love best about this show is just interacting with them. And soon we'll get them on the show, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As we navigate ourselves as media through January, there's already been a substantial amount of cancellations. But what we're going to try to do is have a weekly top 10 in boys and girls basketball. Now, I say try because it all determines on games played and a lot of things go into it. But we kind of kick things off this week with both the boys and girls. And, we put at number 1 Bowling Green for the girls, which this came out before the first game of the season.
Yes.
And what happened?
Yeah, it looks like we will have a new number 1 next week, Doug. It looks like we will have a new number 1 next week because Barron County took it to the Lady Purples in that first game of the season.
Yeah, and the young Tisdale player from Bowling Green unfortunately got injured. She left the game with crutches, which we hate to see.
Yeah.
But, Piper Lindsay is an ex-player at Barron County High School. She is extremely good coach, and they always put a very competitive team on the floor, and it's very difficult to win at Barron County. I wasn't super surprised with that, but early on, Bowling Green was, I think, the early favorite.
Yeah. Bowling Green starting out the season, Doug, they have the Lady Purples now. They do have a couple contributors that are out with injuries, and I believe they have a transfer that won't be available till early March. So they're not at full strength.
Right.
So we know that going forward, and it doesn't mean that they won't be at the top of the rankings at the end of the season either, or that they won't come out at the end of the season as the best team in our local South Central Kentucky area. Yeah. But in the first week, it was an impressive showing by Barron County.
I'm going to go through Russell County at number 3. The Lady Lakers, again, one of that 16th district program that always ends up at Dill Arena for the 4th region. Year in, year out, they're very, very good. I'm really excited to see Warren East, the Lady Raiders, in the top 5.
Yeah, me too, Doug. It's great to see them at number 4. Hopefully, we will see them, this high in the rankings, and I say hopefully as in hopefully we'll see them on the court and able to play their games. I know that COVID protocols have really impacted the start of their season.
All of these programs have been a force to be reckoned with. So we will see how it shakes out in week 2. As we move on to the boys' side,
Yes, sir.
This is a team that may stay at number 1 for a while.
Yeah, we may not have another number 1 throughout the rest of the season. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Bowling Green Purple's number 1, and what an impressive showing on opening night at Barron County, Doug. That was quite a performance by DG Sherrill's Purples.
Yeah, Isaiah Mason averaged 16.9 points last year, drops 25 on the Trojans earlier this week. So we've got Barron County at number 2, Clinton County at number 3, Warren Central at number 4. And yes, folks, they graduated a ton of players. Chase Carver did transfer from South to Warren Central, but in our article, in the preview, we said not so fast. And the reason why, don't count the Dragons out.
Absolutely. Great coaching, a great program over there at Warren Central. And even though they had guys that left from last year's team, they're always going to be great.
Yeah, another team I like a lot is Coach McCoy's Greenwood Gators, second-year head coach. Man, he's got the attitude. He's got the energy. Watch out for the Greenwood Gators at number 6, the South Warren Spartans.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It'll be interesting to watch them. At 7, Franklin Simpson. At 8, Allen County Scottsville. And we round out the top 10 with Russellville and Logan County. Can't wait to see how this shakes up in the weeks to come, Doug.
I am so excited. I can hardly stand it myself. Taryn, thank you again for sitting in. It has been a lot of fun.
Yes, sir.
We look forward to seeing you next week right here. Same time, same place. Have a super week. We'll see you next week.